It's not a derogatory term. It's what you know how like what is that? I don't know if you remember that movie. You probably don't. But you know how like the name kangaroo came from?
No.
So the name kangaroo came from when the natives of Australia were saying kangaroo.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that that they were talking about the hopping things because like the whoever arrived there was like, what are those things? And they were like kangaroos, but it just means welcome in Australian.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like that. Except that story's not true, but you know,
I didn't think so.
no, that came from the movie Arrival.
Hello, everyone. We're the Continuity Crew. I'm Will. Yeah, that's Win. And today, got another. This was Big Feature Film Podcast, episode whatever for you guys. We're doing Blue Bayou, starring Justin Chow, I believe. Correct.
Alicia Vikander.
Or is it Chow?
Justin Chan.
Chon.
Chon.
My bad. Dyslexic. Flipped it. But yeah, written, directed by him as well. It follows a Korean American who gets into some trouble and is going to be deported, and it's a whole fiasco. But it follows him and goes through his life. But as always, these like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and make sure you watch to the end to make sure you see what we give this out of 10. So, I already said the plot. That's pretty much it. But I will say I'm gonna say I'm giving this extra points already just because he wrote, directed, and starred in it, and it's a pretty dang good movie. I mean, it didn't feel too I guess pretentious for some actors that do that with like not to say any names, but Edward Norton. He's done that before, where he's written and directed it, and it's just like, ooh, sheesh. Wayne, we'll just start. What you think about this?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between like, yeah, this is basically like a learning thing where people learn, you get an information about immigration and all that stuff. So I mean,
I'm
torn
message
between
type
it.
movie.
It's straightforward with it. It's like, yeah, everything is interesting though. I do like the fact that we do watch him just kind of try to get this, just making ends meet, and it's not like a draggy, long film about, oh, this is someone's life and like his childhood and all that. They were just pretty much like, oh yeah, I don't talk to my mom anymore because of this and that. So. Or stuff like that. So I mean,
they don't drag any of the plot points out, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually the kind of guy who's like, show don't tell. But this time I'm just kind of like, yeah, I think I like that because it's heavily focused on him being kicked out and then or being deported and then having a baby. So that focus on the story like that, I appreciated how they did that. So honestly, I was very surprised for this movie. I didn't know what to expect. It looked good in the trailers. I liked the cinematography.
I mean, it looked good. Like, it looked pretty, and
it looked like film.
It did. It had a very stylized look to it, which is cool. I will say also this isn't like his first movie. He's done other written and directed stuff. So, again, just it's just cool. It's cool when you can put that together, and especially I think this is probably pretty close to his heart. As an Asian American, like the message he's trying to convey. So that's always also cool. And it didn't feel, I don't know, not pretentious, but it didn't feel cheesy. It felt,
it felt like it was, it didn't feel like a cliche.
Yes, cliche kind of. It felt good. It was good. So
it's a heartwarming story without the whole tearjerker where it's like it forces you. It does feel a little bit like it's what do you call that? It does feel like it's manipulative, but I didn't really focus on that too much. The story was
it's
pretty good.
Manipulative and like how? Like I'm thinking like playing with your emotions, sure, because like that ending tore me apart, but
not just emotion, but like the fact that like, oh, there's a lot of things going on. Like that woman, I still don't understand her. Like, what was her connection? Because I did feel like I did miss something. So
I'm trying to remember. What When did you walk out? Because maybe
I left just right before that scene where they got into they went to the barbecue thing or whatever.
She talks about her life in Vietnam and how her brother and mom died in Vietnam because her dad split them up into two different boats because her dad wanted a more chance of somebody making it. I'd say that was the biggest plot point. Otherwise, it was just kind of them eating dinner, and then also Justin's character like went to the bathroom to a bit and almost hid away because he was like, "Oh, I feel like I'm somewhere else. Like I'm almost not in America."
Yeah,
and I think that was it.
I think that was just really strange to add that in there. I mean, if I watch it again, I'm sure I'll get the point across.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was a nice distraction for the character. I just think it was just so random. Maybe it should have been someone related to him.
I liked it. Maybe I liked it because it was just a platonic relationship. They were friends, and it was it didn't have to be completely family focused, and it kind of took his character out of that and gave just more depth, but also just, I don't know, it was nice. I think you're kind of right. Maybe there was a better way to connect those two characters, like maybe make her Korean as well. Like, oh, they're both from Korea, but also I get the point of making her Vietnamese. I'm sure the actress probably is, but just whole it's not just happening to like Korean people. It's happening to all sorts of Americans that with this adoption stuff that happens. So that'll that was kind of the point to give it, but I would kind of agree with that. The character did seem how they did it was fine, but there may have been a better way to connect them.
Yeah, it just fell out of nowhere. It's just they met in the hospital, and then somehow they just became good friends. Yeah. And it's I can see that, but at the same time, it's like, what are the odds of that completely happening?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I looked over it because of that Christian documentary I watched today, where the father and the son happened to known each other their whole lives, but didn't know they were father and son. That's crazy.
Sounds like pure flick shit.
But yeah, that was something.
Overall, though, the story is great. I didn't feel like it was forcing you to hate police or anything like that. Mm-mm. I mean, I kind of liked the character arc with the biological father of Jesse. Yeah, I kind of like that arc. Was cool. I thought that was very nice that they did that. And, mm-hmm. You're not looking at a police officer being bad, and then, of course, that one dude, still don't understand him. Don't know if he actually has I don't know if he's anger management issues or something like that. But
it seems like he's just an idiot.
I guess so.
He's just a piece of shit.
He's kind of like a parody of police officer.
A little bit, because he starts his character. We meet him. He's talking about sausage, and then at the end, he's like, "Oh, I will never eat sausage again." That's his entire character arc, and him just being a piece of shit. But I think this movie was great. I think the story they told was good. I didn't feel cliched or with the message they were trying to convey, because sometimes that can happen. But also, I think the performances were something that highlight a little. I think, I don't know, the chemistry between all the family itself felt very, very genuine. The little girl was actually I thought did really well. I don't know how old she was.
She did fine. Yeah.
We know you hate child actors.
I do. I really do.
But
there were times though when I think she actually ADR'd her lines, and it just felt so obvious. There are also times when there's a couple things that distracted me about this movie. Mm-hmm. One is some of the ADR, and then another is whenever, I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they didn't just ADR it, but I think there was one scene where she was wearing the Flash costume. Mm-hmm. It might have just been the stereos, but she was wearing the Flash costume and he was talking, and you could tell that the whoever did the sound kind of did a reduction on the sound, and then they just raised up his voice and lowered it again, because I feel like the train background was too loud or something like that. and they just didn't want to replace that sound, so they just kept him talking. And yeah, I don't know. I think that was a little distracting.
I didn't notice any of that, to be honest. But what were you saying? Go ahead.
Maybe because it's probably because like I've been watching a whole lot of short films that are like that have like horrible sound.
Yeah,
And,
that would make sense.
Yeah,
I will say, kind of in the same realm of sound, but the score and just the music they played, I thought it fit the movie perfectly. Like they had a lot of jazz and like sax type music, and they're in New Orleans, so I was like, oh, that's cool. That kind of fits.
yeah.
The atmosphere
Like
they were giving. But no, the ending, that little girl tore my heart out whenever she screamed. I was like, oh, I teared up a little. So it reminds me a lot actually of the Florida Project.
Yeah, just a tad.
Because just like, I don't know, you've got this young girl, and also it didn't follow her like the Florida Project does, but also like the parents are kind of pieces of shit, and like you're like, oh, I know you're trying to do good, but like, come on.
Yeah, overall, this movie though is kind of, there's a lot of things to get distracted by. There's also a lot of things that you can like about it. I mean, I'm not too hung up on the things that I'm distracted by. I did like the feel. I did love the look of it. I think I still think that he shouldn't have spent that much money on the camera. Maybe that he should have done something else.
The filmmaking like aspects of everything, I thought the cinematography was really good. I will say this had a lot of close-up shots, and that's something that Flag Day did, and I still don't know if like I liked it in Flag Day or not, but I did like it in this for sure. I thought it made you personal with the characters, and it felt good. I liked how it looked. Like it did look like it was on film, whether it was or not, but it looked good, so I liked that. And it looked like also just he wrote and directed it, but also it looked like he had a lot of Asian crew, like I think the cinematographers were and stuff, so that's cool as well. So it's a topic that can be close to everyone working on the movie, so I really like that too. So it's always nice when something like this is like a passion project, especially when it has to do with something in real life, so like real life shit. And I mean, this isn't something like I knew about like per se. These people are definitely getting screwed. I mean, I feel like that's so much for land of the free, am I right?
Yep.
I don't even think that's like political or anything. These people are just getting screwed. Like it's an old act that
It's not even. I don't even think it's about politics. I think it's more along the lines of like these parents are dumbasses.
Well, also just like the system's fucked, and that's kind of a movie. A lot of movies do that, but this is like more real. Like you could say Joker is like, the system's fucked.
I really need to watch this movie again because like I think at first I was just. It was a big spectacle for me at first. So I did like a lot of things about it, but I'm sure like the second viewing I'm more like, yeah, I wish they wrote this way. I wish they wrote, because like the only thing that I can think of that I wish they didn't do is that ending and probably the mom a little bit.
Yeah, the mom, it's just they didn't give her any depth, and she was just a bitch. Like for almost, it felt like no reason, and like one of her lines was like, "Are you done trying to fix that guy?" I'm like, okay, you didn't lay any groundwork for her to say that. Like we didn't know that her the wife's character was trying to fix him or whatever. So it just felt weird.
I guess, you know what, I will say that the director, the writer, he did do a good job of just telling the actress like, just ignore me the entire time. I think that was a good direction that they did that.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's like the other guy isn't so much better either.
Yeah.
So why do you like him?
Yeah, it's like this guy took care of your granddaughter and like has raised her, and like just because like he's had a troubled past, you're gonna like shut him off. And so,
but yeah, overall, this movie, I think it's a good watch. It is long.
I would say
they definitely could have cut a bunch of parts out, but overall, you know, I think it was a good watch. And
I will say, I think this movie, it's in theaters now. I wouldn't say if you want to see it, go watch it. But like if you don't really. I could see this picking up some traction, maybe like whenever it hits a streaming service. Like I feel like it could be, because it's playing at like our artsy theater. Like not many people are gonna go see it, but I feel like it might pick up some traction maybe later in the year when it comes out on streaming or something. That might be sooner than later, just because of how movies are right now. Like they come out on streaming like a couple weeks later, so we'll see. I do really like it. I like you were saying, I liked how it looked. I liked the message it gave and all that. And it's the best movie I saw today. I'll say that. I mean, I went and saw 2 other documentaries. And I watched something at home. I don't remember what it was.
It is also actually the best movie that I've seen all day.
Yeah.
That's all I've been doing for like this past week. Like just watch short films.
Yeah, I think I watched 5 movies. Yeah, 5 movies today. But that's our review, but we're gonna give it a rating out of 10 because I almost ended it right there.
Almost did.
Rating out of 10. Win. What you say?
I think I'm right with the people on IMDb. 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, because like I think the performance was great. I don't know so much about the cinematography, but I did like how the camera looked. I liked how intimate the camera was, and Alicia Vikander, I love her. So
what else has she been in?
Ex Machina. There was another movie.
Let me look real quick.
Can't remember, but that's the one that the first time I seen her.
The Danish Girl. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, that one.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. Okay,
Man,
I've seen her, just didn't know her name. Cool. Yeah. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really like this movie. I'm always like a sucker, I guess, for like a American Dream or culture type story. Like Minari. Like this did give me kind of a Minari like Florida Project mashup.
Yeah.
And so give it an 8 out of 10. I did really like this movie. I say I don't know, we still have a lot to come out this year, but I could see this might get nominated for one category. I don't know what, but I could see it. So I'm gonna say 8 out of 10 for our critical rating, but entertainment wise, what'd you say?
Oh, 7.
7?
I was intrigued. Like I said, what you see in front of you is just I think it was great storytelling.
Yeah. For my entertainment value though, I'm gonna give it an 8. Solid 8 between the two for me. Really enjoyed the movie. That's our big feature film podcast for this week. On Blue Bayou, I think it was a great film. I would recommend to people. I would recommend. I would give it another watch. But anyways, thank y'all for watching as always. Like if you enjoyed, comment down below. Can Win say the G word?
I mean, unless I blur it.
No, just like cut all that out and just leave that part of me saying, "Can Win say the G word?" What's the G word?
Why not though? Right?
Anyways, though, yeah, subscribe, like, comment. We've been the Continuity Crew, though. I'm Will.
I'm a.
That's Win. Thank y'all for watching. We love movies. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.